looking at the floor.
I'm not.
And I just, because I understand what you're going through, so
What I
just
do
kind
know.
of deal with it the best I can.
I know all of them are low.
I try.
There. Yeah. Yep. She's 5. Danielle, and I think the Hats are helping her.
It's way back there, isn't it?
At this time, we'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will there be any additions to or deletions from the board agenda?
Madam President, I would recommend that we table the bylaws as there have been some questions, and just to make sure we have clarification to those questions, I'd recommend we table till next month.
Support that. And at this time, we will get to the best part of the meeting, presentations. We're going to start by honoring our Dowagiac Union School retirees.
I just get to play Vanna White.
Oh, okay. Good evening. My name is Miss Robinson. I am the principal at Patrick Hamilton Elementary, and I get the honor and privilege of honoring our first retiree, Miss Renee Grady. She could not be here with us this evening, but she has served the district for 22 years. She started off as a playground aide at Lincoln Elementary. She then moved on to Justice Gage as a pre-K parapro, and finally ended her career at Patrick Hamilton as an English language learning paraprofessional. She has really enjoyed building relationships with families throughout the years, and she said the best thing is being able to see those little kids grown up and now being able to work with their families and their children as well. She's going to miss everybody, and even though she's retiring, she's not done. She asked me today if she could come back and volunteer in the building. So I'm sure we have not seen the last of Miss Grady. Thank you. Oh, there.
Well, I'm filling in to take care of our second retiree who could not be present today. Gail, I know I'm going to say this wrong, Girzandi? I'm so sorry if I blew that up. Her spouse is Evard Van Melleren, and son Adam Essig. 21 years working for the district, and working for the district. This year she came back and helped us out by being one of our virtual teachers during the COVID. So we greatly appreciated that. She was first a PE teacher at DMS, and the rest of the time she was spent at the elementary level. So we wish her well and thank her for her service. And if you're wondering, I'm just playing Vanna White up here for the retirees, except for one of the last ones.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kathy Stone. I'm principal at Kinchell Elementary. We have 2 retirees. I'm going to tell you first about our 4th grade teacher, Elaine Banson, who was not with us tonight. She has served as a teacher in this district for 33 and a half years. She is currently a fourth grade teacher at Kinchlow. Her notes are, it's been an honor and a privilege to teach at McKinley Elementary School, Patrick Hamilton Elementary School, and finally out at Kinchlow. During her teaching time at Dowagiac, she's enjoyed the time here, and she is honored to have had the chance to touch so many families in this community. So she says it's been as much a pleasure to learn from each student and each family as it has been to teach them. So we thank Mrs. Vanson for all of her service. Our second retiree is Mrs. Vicki Fairley. Vicki, would you come on up? You get to stay right here. Mrs. Fairley started at Kinchlow in 1994 as a breakfast aide and a lunch aide. Mr. Dan Smith was the principal at the time, and he asked her to help in classrooms as a classroom aide as well. She's worked in every grade level. Mrs. Fairley has also subbed 3 months as a library parapro, helped in the office when needed as well. For the last 8 years, she has been a parapro with our special education teacher. Some of her best memories include running lunch times and running the soccer games. All the kids called her coach at that time. She's enjoyed seeing all the renovations and the improvements that we've had at Kinchlow in the last few years. Mrs. Fairley says it'll be hard to move on. Kinchlow's been a big part of her life. Her own 2 children went there as well. She says that she's ready for the next chapter, and we'll miss you.
On behalf of the board, just a little token of our appreciation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Kelly Millen, principal at Dowagiac Union High School. It's my honor to recognize the 2021 Dowagiac Union High School retirees for their accomplishments in education at this time. So please help me celebrate Katrina Hargraves Lee and Becky Turner as they make their way to the stage. Now, generally speaking, I introduce retirees individually, but I feel with these 2 ladies that it's much more fitting to invite them up here together. They have been colleagues, room neighbors, and most importantly, friends for over 25 years. Both have been active members of the high school staff and have taught math at multiple levels, including summer school sessions. Both. Both have had active athletic careers as coaches. Both have volunteered to help with many extracurricular activities. And both have inspired their families to be the next generation of educators. They have supported each other and the students they serve for over a quarter of a century. And they are indeed partners in crime. What one doesn't think of, the other will. But those are stories for another day and another time. So let me now introduce you to each of them. Katrina Hargraves Lee. Katrina is here tonight with her husband John Keenan and daughter Peyton Lee, who is also studying to become a teacher. Katrina has worked in education and for Dowagiac Union Schools for 33 years as a math teacher. She has coached girls basketball and has volunteered for the athletic department. She does everything. She runs clocks. She does scorebooks. She's an all-around helper when it comes to that. Next is Becky. Becky is here tonight with her husband, Bob, and children, Jason and Kristen. Bob and Jason are teachers at DMS, and Kristen is a teacher at DUHS. Becky has worked in Dowagiac Union Schools since 1996, or 25 years, and worked at Brandywine prior to coming to Dowagiac Union High School. I just lost track of how many years. 4 there. There you go.
3 at all.
And 3 at Eau Claire. So there you go. She does my math for me. Becky has coached and assisted with girls and boys golf and currently volunteers to help with softball. She was also the National Honor Society sponsor for many years. So please offer Katrina and Becky a round of applause for their combined 58 years of teaching at Dowagiac Union Schools.
No. Do you want to say it? No. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very much.
It is my privilege to recognize John Droff, our facilities director. Just a little bit of information about John. One, his wife paid me to embarrass him, so that will be goal number 1. John has served this district for 32 years. But a little tidbit here, he's actually been a part of Dowagiac for 51 years, minus a couple years for during high school and college. So he's definitely a lifelong chieftain. Now, when I first arrived 2 years ago, John was one of the first people I met. And at that time he said, hey, just to let you know, a couple years, and it's my time. And then I started to cry and to beg, but understood. Because you see, what most people don't understand as a facilities director, his day doesn't have a normal start time. And it doesn't have an end time. And no matter what he's doing, there's something else that needs to be done. Working with staff in the facilities and maintenance department, custodial staff, working to support our teachers, to support our students, to keep this district running. And the bond issue that's been going on over the last few years, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, he's been a very, very important piece of getting the complex completed, solving problems, and everything John has ever done has been focused on serving this district, our students and our staff and community. I have had the pleasure of working with 10 different facilities directors in my career, and I kid you not, he is the best, and we will sadly miss him. But we thank him for everything he has done for us, and we wish him and Amy great times in retirement. And a little funny I learned tonight, and I'm going to say it. His first paycheck is how he took her out on a date to a scary movie. I never got that part about dating, but he was committed to her, but said, I can't until that first paycheck. And 29 years later, is that what I heard, Amy? Here they are, proud to be chieftains and proud to be moving on. So John, on behalf of the board, the community, and the district, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you to all of the honorees. That is definitely I should have had the math teachers add up all those years that were listed there. But definitely, thank you for serving our community and our children. Thank you. Next, we have Students of the Month, and we're going to get started with Patrick Hamilton.
All right, good evening. My name is Miss Robinson again. I am the principal at Patrick Hamilton. And having the honor of going first, I will explain a little bit about Student of the Month and how our students throughout the district are chosen. Students are nominated by faculty and staff, teachers that exhibit our chieftain hero values of of being helpful and honest, earning and giving respect, being responsible, and being orderly and safe. And they also exemplify great academic achievement or strive for academic excellence. So students tonight will receive a plaque that says Dowagiac Union Schools, has their name, Student of the Month, and are recognized by the board, administration, and staff for their academic performance and mentoring of fellow students. And they will also receive a Dowagiac Chieftain t-shirt. So first up, for Patrick Hamilton, we have Khalif Reyna, who was nominated by his teacher, Miss Henninger, and she will come up and tell us a little bit more about Khalif.
We're both a little nervous here. I have had the pleasure of being Khalif's teacher for, I think 3 or 4 years now. So he is a 5th grader at Pat Ham. He is shared with myself and Miss Hayner. Khalif shows up and is a hero every day. He is responsible. He is kind and respectful. He goes out of his way every day to help his classmates and his teachers. He is my tech support. If there's anything wrong with my computer, I can count on Khalif to help me right away and ask to help right away. This year, he set some pretty high goals for himself. He really wanted to improve his reading skills. And Khalif worked every day to achieve that goal, often asking me, can I please read a harder book? So he is just a pleasure to have as a student at Pat Ham, and we will miss him tremendously as he goes to the middle school, but I know that he's going to do great things there. All right, next up we have Miss Nadia Porman, who was nominated by Miss Patty McCall, her art teacher, and Miss Erica Shively, our gym teacher.
So Nadia is in 5th grade. She's a student in Miss Hayner's class and was selected as a Student of the Month by myself, Miss Shively, Mrs. Batty, and Mrs. Ekman. She lives with her mother, Dawn. She has one brother, Nikolai, and 2 sisters, Natila and Nairi. Her favorite part of school is math because she loves geometry, and she's excited to build a geometry city, which I'm interested to know what that is. When Nadia is not at school, she enjoys playing basketball, going skating, and riding her skateboard. She wants to be a doctor when she grows up. Yeah. Nadia was chosen by her specials teachers because of her kindness toward everyone. She is always respectful to others and is willing to help and be involved. She's very creative, and she's a model citizen in every class. We are very lucky to have Nadia as a student and role model at Patrick Hamilton.
And we're going to go this way and say thank you to the board members. Please ran away from us. Yep, there you go.
Next, we'll have Kinchelo.
All right, I would like Kinchlo's Students of the Month, Kai Kruger and Jay Scant, to come on up. All righty, we're going to start with our Student of the Month, Jace Gant. Jace, come right on out here. And our nominating teacher was Mrs. Posey. She's going to tell us a lot about Jace.
Well, Jace, when I was asked to choose the Student of the Month, Jace's name was the first to pop into my head. Jace is currently a fifth grader at Kinchelo. He is the son of Joseph Gant and Sunshine Whitaker. He has one older brother named Jaden and an older sister named Skylin. Did I do that? Okay. And in his free time, Jace enjoys jumping on the trampoline, playing in his yard with his two dogs, and he likes to watch soccer games on television and play video games with his friends. And at school, his favorite subjects are science and gym class. In the classroom, he's hardworking, responsible, he is very polite, respectful. He brings a positive attitude to school every day, and he's made great progress this year. He can be counted on to be prepared and ready to learn as soon as class begins. He serves as a good role model to other students by listening to and following teachers' directions. He has very good attendance, and during distance learning, he was always logged in on time and ready to work every day. When I asked him what his advice was for younger students in our building, he said, "Try your best." Good job, Jace. We're proud of you.
Grace, you got that. I don't want you to run away. Okay. Here's your certificate. Just get that. It's right here for Mrs. Posey. Okay. Yeah. You good?
You want me to go?
I'll go. I'll talk, but
All right, so
calm down. Our second Student of the Month, Kai Kruger, was nominated by our specials teachers. And tonight we have Ms. Kadrich, Hannah Kadrich, and Hannah is going to tell us about Kai.
Hello. My name is Ms. Kadrich. I'm the music teacher at Kinchelo and Sister Lakes Elementary. So our April Student of the Month is Kai Kruger. She's a fifth grader at Kinchelo. She is the daughter of Jackie and Andy Kruger and sister to eighth grader Emerson Kruger. Kai has two dogs, two guinea pigs, and a hamster, and she was selected unanimously by the art teacher, Mrs. Heaston, the PE teacher, Mr. Judd, the library media specialist, Mrs. Kelly, and me, the music teacher. Kai is a kind person who is consistently a good citizen to all people at Kinchelo Elementary, both students and staff. She is always courteous of those around her. She sets a solid example of leadership, friendliness, and good behavior. Her favorite subject in school is ELA, and in her spare time, she loves to draw and read, her favorite books being the entire Harry Potter series. She's very specific about that. And as a staff, we are so proud of Kai and can't wait to see the kind of person that she grows up to be.
Wait a minute. I have a shirt too.
Calm down.
You come on. Come on.
I have to go with you?
Up next is Sister Lakes.
All righty. There we go. My name is Ryan Zila. I'm the administrator at Sister Lakes Elementary, and I have the privilege to introduce you to our student of the month, Melissa Vandenberg, and the special teachers here are going to tell you a little bit more about Melissa.
I'm still Patty McCall, the art teacher. Melissa is the daughter of Justin and Ashley Vandenberg and sister to 6-year-old Emma. She has a dog, cat, fish, chickens, and a hamster. She went on to say the chickens are actually her sisters, but she helps with them. She was selected unanimously by all of us, myself, the PE teacher, Mrs. Shibley, our library media specialist, Ms. Thomas, and our music teacher, Ms. Cadridge. At all times, Melissa is respectful and kind toward everyone, adults as well as her peers. She sets an example of excellence in behavior and cooperation. She's usually smiling, which she's doing right now, and eager to help others. Her favorite subject is social studies because she enjoys learning about history. That's a good thing. In her spare time, she loves to perform in competitive cheer for Niles Elite and hanging out with her cousins. We are very proud of Melissa and know she will be an excellent role model throughout her school years and in society. Congratulations.
All right, now I get to introduce you to Mason Garcia. Mason was selected by his teacher, Miss Chinoweth, we call her Miss C. She could not be here tonight, but she gave me a few things to say, awesome, about Mason over here. Mason is the son of Grisel Aviles and Jamie Garcia. He has an older sister, Brianna. Mason loves to be with his cousins and play with his dogs. What kind of dog do you have, Mason? Oh. Oh, he's some kind of husky. Okay, cool. Miss C stated the following about Mason. He has made so many gains this past year. She's very proud of him. He went up 12 points in his NWA scores. That's awesome. And he's up 5 reading levels this year in his running record. On top of staying focused and participating in class, Mason has been staying after at least once a week to continue working on his academics. Awesome, Mason. Mason is an excellent choice for a student of the month, and I am so proud of him. So here's Mason Garcia.
Next up is Justice Gage.
Good evening, Brian Henry, principal of Justice Gage Elementary, and our first student of the month was nominated by Christy Payne, and that is Kelsey Tobin. Come on up, Mrs. Payne, and talk about all the wonderful things for Kelsey.
Kelsey's a 4th grade student who's in Mrs. Page's class, and it's my 2nd year of working with her in reading and math. She was chosen because she's respectful and hardworking and continues to make tremendous improvements in her skills in the past 2 years. She's a great role model for other students. She offers to help those that might not be able to read as well, and she reads directions and helps them with math problems. She sets high expectations for herself and wants to complete everything, even if it looks too hard for her, or she feels like it's too hard, she wants to get it done. So she's a joy to have in class every day. In her spare time, she enjoys drawing and coloring, and she's a great artist. She gave me a lot of pictures that I've hung on the walls. Her favorite books to read are Goosebumps, and she enjoys eating Nutella sandwiches and pizza. I thought that was an interesting combination. When she grows up, she would like to work with animals in the forestry industry or be a veterinarian. So she watches a lot of animal shows on the weekends. She lives with her mom, Diana, and her sister, Marilyn, who's a middle school student. And we are very happy to have Kelsey at Justice Gage with us.
I'm going to have you walk across the stage, okay? As Kelsey's exiting the stage, I also want to let everyone know that she's a phenomenal artist as well. Next up, we have our special teachers, Mrs. Shively and Mrs. McCall, to introduce our special student of the month, Abigail Ventura Morales.
Deja vu. The Justice Gage Student of the Month is Abigail Ventura Morales. She's a 5th grade student in Miss Hannibal's class and was selected as Student of the Month by her special teachers, Miss Heather, the librarian, myself, Mrs. Shively, who teaches PE, and Mrs. Ekman, our music teacher. She's the daughter of Nareda Morales and Jose Ventura, and she has a sister, Sarah, and a brother, Jose. Her favorite part of school is hanging out with her friends, which is a lot of kids' favorite part of school. Outside of school, Abigail enjoys playing games on her phone, playing with her brother and sister, and spending time with her 2 rabbits. She was chosen not only because of her success in each specials class, but because of her positive attitude. She is always helpful and courteous to others and enters the room with determination and willingness to do her best. We are very proud to have Abigail as a student and a member of our Justice Gage family.
We're going to go right down the line, okay? Congratulations. Go this way, right to there.
I'll do it later.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Whiteman. I'm the principal here at Dowagiac Middle School, and I have the pleasure of introducing our April Student of the Month, Cephas Carr. And Cephas, he's a 7th grade student here at the middle school, and he is the son of Mark and Crystal Carr. His mother is seated over there in the back there with his grandmother as well, who's present. Cephas has 2 older brothers, Seth and Kyle Carr, and 1 older sister, Madison Brown, who is married and has 1 son. And Cephas is also very lucky to be an uncle to both Aiden Brown and Lake Carr, he had told me. Cephas says what he likes most about the middle school is the teachers. He says this because they're really nice and do a great job of teaching us. He also says his favorite subject in school is social studies. He says this because he enjoys learning about history because it's interesting to him. And his favorite teacher is Mr. Dzakowic, who also teaches social studies at Dowagiac Middle School. Cephas was nominated by Mr. Dzakowic, and he's got some things he'd like to share about his nominee.
Thanks. Cephas is he's a student that every teacher wants in your class, and he follows the expectations. He does his assignments, and he participates. But he's more than just that. Cephas is music loving, he is lighthearted, and he's a clever teenager. Everything that a social studies teacher wants in their classroom. He reminds me of somebody out of the 1960s, right? And you could just sit around with Cephas and contemplate the world all day. And his friends kind of gravitate to that. And when I say friends, I mean the whole class, because I don't think there's anybody in our class that doesn't like you. I think they all kind of gravitate to you. And I think the reason is because you listen to your peers and you help them. And that is so huge. That's such a huge thing for the students. On a recent project, we had a major presentation in class, and Cephas really got into his role as a presenter. Now, this helped me because it was a speaking project, and of course, you get to middle school and you say speaking project, and they all go, oh, but Cephas didn't do that, and he went first. By the time this class was over, they were cheering for each other. They were encouraging. I had a student that was shaking to present, and the entire class encouraged him on. And Cephas made them raise their game, and it was a pleasure to see. It makes teaching fun. I only wish that I had 5 more Cephases to go around. Now, there might be a small rumor that I nominated you only because I was jealous of your hair, but that's not true. That's not true. Don't listen to anybody else. But no, all jokes aside, all hair jokes aside, Cephas really is a great student, and I'm pleased that the faculty and staff voted for him to make him Student of the Month.
I just have a couple more things that I wanted to share about Cephas that he made me aware of. He loves to play video games. His favorite game is Doom Eternal, which is a first-person shooter. He also enjoys watching YouTube videos and spending time with his pet dog Milo, who is a pit bull German Shepherd mix. So just make sure when you're around his house that you know that his name is Milo. When asked if he had any advice to give other students who wanting to become a Chieftain Student of the Month, he had this to say. It's really good advice. I would tell them to be polite and friendly to others. Also, I would tell them to pay attention in class and do your work. If you do these things, you could earn this award. But if you don't do them all, you won't feel like you'll be as successful as you could. On behalf of the staff and students at Dowagiac Middle School, as Mr. Dezak said, we would like to congratulate Cephas for being selected our April Student of the Month.
Next, we have the Union High School.
Good evening once again. My name is Kelly Millen, principal at Dowagiac Union High School. So Dowagiac Union High School has the honor of presenting their Student of the Month for April 2021 to Madison Nielsen. She was nominated by Jobs for Michigan Graduates teacher Jeff Olson and voted on by the Dowagiac Union High School staff. She is a student that sets the standard of excellence in both her schoolwork and her character. Madison is here tonight with her sister Brianna Kraft and guest Amber Barton. Mr. Olson shares the following. Maddie is an exemplary student. Her 3.74 GPA ranks her in the top 20 among the sophomore class. She currently has all A's this semester, including in her honors classes. Maddie demonstrates the skills that make her successful on a daily basis. She engages in class discussion, asks thoughtful questions, and is proactive in getting things done. She is also always willing to help those around her better understand the material being taught. Maddie's positive attitude stands out among her peers on a daily basis. Despite adversity and balancing difficult schedules, she regularly greets those around her with a smile or engages them in conversation. Maddie is a leader in her classes and makes them a more welcoming place for all students to be. Her character and leadership skills are advanced beyond her years. Because of these skills, Maddie will be taking college classes at Southwestern Michigan College as a junior. She's enrolled to take psychology and speech in the fall and will begin working toward her associate's degree. On top of all she brings as a student, Maddie is also involved in choir. Choir director Hunter Schur describes Madison as an integral part of cadet choir. She leads by example in class by working hard and participating to her best ability each day. Maddie is a talented singer and a smart musician who earned a spot in chamber choir. Congratulations. That's the top ensemble at Dowagiac. The choir program is lucky to have students like Madison. So please help me congratulate Madison Nielsen, our Student of the Month.
Again, thank you to all of the retirees and congratulations to the Students of the Month. At this time, we will take a 10-minute recess, and I believe we are wanting pictures out in the hall area there. And you can return back for more action if you'd like. Someone said no. The invite was there. 42. Long day?
Yeah, I wanted to go to Addison's little ball game before I came. I didn't want to miss it.
15-minute presentation or what?
Most of it's kudos to your school district. I love coming to this main meeting because it's how it is.
I know, it's the best of both worlds. So, I mean, we're losing her, but we're keeping her. It's fantastic.
She gets to be in the grade a little bit.
She gets to be which is good. I mean, it's good. It's just
Before I leave, if there's anything that comes up to the college, use the skills or listen down there.
I want to get, maybe you can bring them out. I want to get covered out
Well, he'll show up in.
But no, I'll definitely if there's something I can do with
Still got his, I would say it's almost like a small part of college.
Yeah, and now we're adding sports.
Are you really?
Well, we got cross country. I appreciate it.
Call the meeting back in session. Oops, sorry. Do we have any correspondence?
We do. We got a thank you card for the top 10 dinner from last month. I'll read it. Dear board members, thank you so much for the great top 10 dinner. I know it took a lot of work and it was very much appreciated. Everyone had a great time. Thank you, Allie Connor.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Do we have hearing of citizens? Don't have anything. Informational items? Finance report, Stacy?
It is recommended to pay the bills as follows. General fund, $482,464.33. Food service, $134,873.80. Inactivity, $1,315.
Superintendent report, Mr. Wong?
Yes, and this evening, I get to turn my portion of the report over to Brent Holcomb, Superintendent of Heritage Southwest ISD. That is the new official name of what we used to refer to as Lewis Cass ISD. And he will be presenting to us the ISD's board, general fund, and I'll turn it over to Brent.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, I want to start off by just telling you, your May board meeting when I come to do this is one of my favorites. And I'll tell you why. You remind me what our jobs are all about, you know? I mean, to see all your retirees, you know, what a credit. And to, you know, I don't know what the year total was, but it was a lot. And all the experience and dedication those folks bring to your school district. I have always a simple thing when I'm a superintendent and I try to ingrain it in my leadership group is typically, the secret to being a good superintendent, hire good people. And usually they're better if they're smarter than you. So I always like that. And then to have all the kids, man, they do such good things, and they're why we exist. It's why schools are here. And so kudos to you as a board for recognizing those students and coming up and doing those good things. And then I wanted to reiterate, and I told John I was going to say this publicly, he is probably your best PR in your school district. I've been to all your buildings, and they are maintained impeccably. And you know what? For taxpayers, when they walk into your building, if you don't think they aren't judging you based on the quality of how well your buildings are taken care of, I mean, that's a credit to you as board members to have somebody like John who takes care of your facilities. So congratulations on that. So it's really good stuff. And I told you I'd say that, John, because it matters. It really does. So with that, what I want to do is just focus on our budget. By law, annually, your board has to approve the ISD budget. You don't have to approve it. You can vote no, so you're not being rubber stamped here. But I want you to understand that the general fund budget is one of the areas in which we do good things for your school district. So I want to point out a few things. Probably the biggest adjustment on the revenue side is our Great Start Collaborative Director, Chris Whitmire. We were one of 4 ISDs in the state, and when she asked to do this, I told her, I says, Chris, you go for it, okay? Because you'll never be hurt by trying. We're like this super small ISD in the state of Michigan. 4 ISDs in the state were granted this Strong Beginnings grant, and Dowagiac's the beneficiary of some of that. I think we got over $600,000 or $700,000 in state funding, and this is to provide a preschool program. So we're doing it for 3rd and 4-year-olds to get them off to a good start. And so we have this Strong Beginning grant, and so you'll see a big change in our revenue on the state aid side, and that's mostly tied to Strong Beginnings. We had a little decrease in our federal funding, and nothing we had any control over. It's mostly tied to Perkins, which is kind of CTE dollars. And so I'm not sure what the impact will be, but we just recorded a little bit lower revenue. On the expense side, we've added some staff, and so that accounts for some of the expenses. Mostly in the instructional side, it's on the Strong Beginnings grant. So we have to, by law, hire a full-time teacher and a full-time associate teacher for 14 students. So that's a pretty significant expense to have 2 adults in a classroom with 14 kids. But they fund it. It's more fully funded than the GSRP preschool program, which we also have in your district. Also baked into that budget, it's one of those things that we collaborate on, and we have a 35A grant, which is literacy coaches, and our literacy coaches work very closely, primarily at the elementary schools, working on essential literacy skills. And what came out of that, and I think it's probably one of those things I'm really most proud of, is that I've seen so much more collaboration between the 4 districts locally, especially around literacy essentials, because my experience tells me we don't all have those answers. And so, for us to work together, we find those answers. And I can tell you, to a person across all 4 districts, every superintendent, all the curriculum directors, everybody embraced a literacy program called Daily 5. And I'm not smart enough to tell you whether it's good. I know this when I researched it. All I hear is good things about it. But everybody made the commitment. And so in this budget, for this instructional side, general fund budget, general fund is my instruction side, so I get lost on that. But the general fund budget, we've put in $80,000, And it's a commitment not only for this year, but for next year for that Daily 5 program. So I want you to understand that. The other one, our 31N dollars went up this year, and so we feel very good about that. 31N is you'll hear a lot of acronym tied to number. Literacy coaches are 35A. 31N is the mental health coaches. And we've committed to having a mental health coach in every district to work for you folks. The good news is we stretched that budget far enough with the increase that we're going to be able to hire a 5th coach. Here's the sad news. We're stealing one of Dowajec's own. Brent, help me name. Kara Cox. And Kara is going to actually work in Dowajec, and we're going to try to focus primarily on the secondary level, middle school, high school, because we feel like, we're trying to hit kids early on the mental health piece, but we also know that we're going to have to build a stronger secondary program. And so Dowajec's going to kind of be that beta test for us to how that should go. And Kara, and all I've heard is she's a rock star, and I think she's going to make a real difference for all secondary kids across the county. So that's baked into the grant also. The other piece we've inherited a little bit from the state is a little bit of retirement increase. We've also, across the board, baked in 2% on salaries. It's just where we think things are going to go across ISDs. And I think in general what you're going to see, most superintendents are real conservative, so you'll see this budget reflects a deficit. Last time we audited, we adopted a deficit budget, and then we finished in the black. So it tells you we're trying to do this conservatively because I don't want to not be able to provide services. But I'm also not afraid of deficits too, because remember that this budget generally is used as a purpose to serve you folks. So like GSRP, it is not fully funded by the state. Now, right now, they're projecting fully funding it at the state level. If they do, that's a win for everybody. But right now, we deficit spend in the preschool program using ISD funds. So just don't panic about the deficit. This is my 5th year, and in 4 of the 5, we always finish in the black. So it's just that conservative nature. And I'll say this with retirement, it's been an honor to serve this group. I've got 40 years in the public retirement system as an educator, and my time has come. Everybody says, how's it going? And I said, I feel like I'm 8 years old standing on the high dive. I don't know if you ever remember that feeling. I did not want to go, but it's time. So thank you. And if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
I just want to say thank you. I've had the opportunity to work with Brent. Is that not on? Is it enough? Anyway, I've had the opportunity to work with Brent at the college level, and so I appreciate everything you've done for the district and as for the college. What you've done over the last 5 years has been tremendous, so you will be greatly missed. So thank you for everything.
Thank you. You guys are a great school district. I was remiss in saying, because I picked on John, but as I watched all your principals come up, you have a very good principal leadership group working on behalf of your kids. So I'm just, it's always a pleasure to work with them. I think the first winning grant that we ever baked into this instructional or this general fund budget was Positive Behavioral Intervention Supports, PBIS. And I think just about every building in Dowajec has embraced that. I think we have 14 out of the 16 schools in our county are all doing PBIS. And that's a credit to that collaboration that's been taking place between locals and the ISD. So, it's been an honor. What they always say, save the best for last. Well, Cass County's been the best, so just got to tell you that. So thank you. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to call me. I'm always available for a conversation. Okay?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next on action items. Need a motion for the consent agenda.
I, Brent Brewer, make the motion to approve items A through S as listed on the consent agenda.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
That's supposed to be a roll call, isn't it?
Not for consent.
Not for consent.
That's consent.
That's what it says.
Oh, roll call.
Okay.
Under new business, item A.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, I, as your superintendent, would recommend approval in support of the the Heritage Southwest budget resolution as presented.
I, Ron Jones, make the motion to approve the HSISD budget resolution as presented.
Second.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Item B.
Yep. I, Terry Groth, make the motion to reconfirm the Dowagiac Union Schools COVID-19 learning plan, which provides for in-person instruction, a virtual academy, and when needed, distance learning for all students, including support for ELL, special education, and other population programs with the most up-to-date guidelines from the state and local health departments.
Support.
Yes.
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 Item C.
I, Terry Groth, make the motion to approve the 6th through 12th grade math curriculum support materials, textbooks, and technologies recommended by the superintendent.
Second.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
We're going to table item D, so that leaves us with item E. That's just for the first reading.
I, Brent Brewer, make the motion to accept the first reading of the new revised replacement policies as recommended by Neola.
Support.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes. And motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?